What's up and welcome to the Indie Credible Podcast, Season 2, Episode 16, a weekly podcast. We get together, we chat about a lot of indie gaming, we go through all the indie games we've been playing, we talk about the latest indie game news, and we cover a main topic. This week's main topic is all about the Playdate. That is not what Dan done this weekend. Woo! That is actually a games console coming out in 2020. It's a handheld console. If you're watching this now and you're thinking, oh sweet, a new handheld console, a new Vita, just hold fire. Yeah, we're not going to say anything more on it. We'll get into what the Playdate is at the end of the show. But we've got mixed feelings on it, I think.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah. But anyway, who am I? That's the question I've been asking myself for the last 32 years. Where are we
in the world?
Exactly.
What is my role in the universe?
Yeah.
These are the questions we answer.
Sometimes I look at the stars and I just feel so insignificant.
Yeah.
Use that as a chat line once. Genuinely.
Really?
Genuinely as a chat line.
You've used some
at a festival.
Chat up lines.
At a festival outside.
I bet it worked as well at a festival.
Yeah. It's like, do you ever just look at the stars and just feel so
Did she have braided hair with like bits of wool tied?
Do you want to think I remember what she looked like?
No, not at all.
Or they looked like. Could it be anyone? But anyway, my name is Lewis, who does feel insignificant at times when I look at the stars. And with me, as always, is Dan from at the Dice Bear. Type Dice Bear into Google, or Twitch, or Twitter, or Facebook, and you find Patreon, a bear with dice. Funny enough, because he's a dice bear.
Or you find beard ice.
Beard ice.
Yeah. I keep typing it in the wrong way around at the moment. So if you put bear dice, you actually get pictures of beard with ice in it.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Which is actually better than my site. So I've been spending a lot of time looking at beard and ice in it.
I love it. And if you're watching us, then you'll not realise we are available on YouTube. If you're listening to us, then we are available on all podcast services. Literally every single one now. I've done the check. I've gone for everyone I know of. And I've found us on every single podcast service.
Sweet.
So we've made it. We're done. We completed the game. Game over. Bye, guys.
So this is our last episode, then, because we've done it.
We've done it.
Finished the game.
But no, so but if you like what we do and you want to see more context of the games we talk about and you're listening, head over to youtube.com/indiecredible and you can see the game traders playing behind us. Or if you really like what we do, guys, head over to patreon.com/indiecredible. If you're watching the video, there is a link in the description below. $1 a month gets you exclusive pre and post show content where we talk about a potential new show this week. If you've got the means to throw us more dollars, then you get a host of goodness. Trust me, every channel probably says this with Patreon, but you get so much for your money's worth.
You do. You get more than pretty much any other Patreon.
I mean, we gave away keys. Like, we've got patrons who have been, they probably donated to us, say, $10 over the past, 2 months, something, but they've had $30 worth of keys given to them. So, yeah. Just a little, just go over there. Pause the video and just go over there. But come back. And, yeah.
They won't hear that. They paused the video.
Yeah.
They'll have done it. They'll come back and... Yeah. I
didn't think that through. Should we dive into what we've been playing?
Let's do it.
I look like I've got tons here, but there's lots I just want to very quickly glaze over. Others I will actually talk about.
I'll go for it
then. Okay, I'll kick off. The only reason I want to mention American Fugitive is because the review I put up, a lot of people have been very mixed on the review. So people have commented on the review saying, I don't buy this kind of game for the story. And I'm like, because basically I spent so the review's 19 minutes. I spent 8 or 9 minutes to review slating the story. There's no point I slated it. Just saying the story is, it's fetch quest after fetch quest after fetch quest. Yeah. It's boring. It starts to go somewhere about midway through the game. You get 2 or 3 good missions. Then it gets boring again. You literally go from a mission where, like GTA, you have to build up to robbing a bank. You have to 4 or 5 missions. You have to get codes and you have to get a uniform. Yeah. I'm like, this is cool. The mission directly after the bank mission is drive around and smash 10 billboards in a car, and you're just like, this doesn't flow. This doesn't make sense. And then when the ending does come, it is very much a case of you're doing these completely mundane ingredients quests to then doing the last mission of the game. And I was like, what? Where did this come from? Yeah. So I get that people are saying, I don't buy GTA games for the story. That's a completely fair comment. What I will say is, you buy GTA games to probably do and play some of the mechanics the story offers. Also, American Fugitive doesn't have tons outside of the story. Yes, you can go be a dick in it, but trust me, the novelty of being a dick wears off. If anyone knows that, that's me.
It still doesn't stop you.
The first time I got in the game, I didn't do. I'd done the bit story I had to do to get to the open parts, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go nick a cop car," and I've done this. And after doing that for an hour and a half, I was like, "I'm just in the story now because I'm bored." I've done all that stuff now. So all I'm saying is, don't buy this game as a sandbox. Go be a complete dick, because you'll get 2 hours of gameplay out of it and be like, oh, I've kind of done everything now. Because to get to the next island where you can do the more open worldy, be a dick, even more stuff, you've got to play the story.
Right.
So that's what I want to say on that. And also, people are like, why do you hate the game? I never once used the word hate in the review. No. I just said that I felt let down, that the story was so... It fluctuated between being... It was never great, it was good, to then being fetch quest after fetch quest. Like, why the fuck do I have to go get a girl donuts? I've got to do that in real life for my wife. Why am I going to do that in a video game? Like...
Hang on. But then again, you love farming sims.
Yeah.
You love
I'm not a farmer.
No, that is true. That is true.
So,
okay, good point well made. Yeah, shut that one down. Sorry, guys.
I want to be a farmer.
Arr. A pirate.
Yeah. Pirates can be farmers. It's not be prejudiced.
That's okay. You can be whatever you want to be, guys. Yeah. You dream it. It can come
so that's
true.
what I wanted to say about Fugitive. The game is okay to good. Is like the best way I can say it. I just felt let down because I was lucky enough to play it at an event earlier. Had a lot of fun in it with it at the event. So I went from this super high to then getting the game to then kind of having to get through a lot of fetch quests to get anywhere decent in the game. Yeah. So I never once said I hated the game. The game is entirely up to you if you want to get into it or not. Just don't buy it for its story. That's all I'm saying. That's done. American Fugitive, done. Book closed. It's on the shelf. Nowhere Profit. Nowhere Profit, there's a video up now. It's a deck building game that I've been looking forward to for a little while. I say a long time. It's only got announced two months ago. It's developed by Shark Bomb Studios, and it's published by No More Robots, who I believe is a solo publisher. Mike, can't remember his surname because I'm a bad person. The guy who published Descenders.
Yeah.
So we got quite a nice relationship with him, and basically a little while ago he sent over this press release for Nowhere Profit deck building game. I mean, I'm going to do a video, I think, this year on 2019, the year of deck building games.
Yes, it is. There's been so many.
And a little bit, I'm getting a bit to the stage now, like you are when you hear Metroidvania. So you go, we've got a 2D Metroidvania with RPG mechanics.
Oh,
you go,
it's a roguelike Metroidvania.
You go, great. I love the deck builders, but I'm starting to get a bit now like, we got a new deck builder, and I'm like, great. So is the previous 7 press releases I've just been sent. They're all deck builders. So I'm going to be honest, jumping into Nowhere Profit, I was a little bit like, I'll just get the video done for it. I'll see what the game's like. I end up playing, so I've done 30 minutes on the video, got the what is a video up, which I recommend watching if you're interested in deck builders. Then sat down and played the rest, which is about another 40 minutes until I finished what was available in the beta.
Yeah.
The game's great. The game is great. So it takes everything that we love about Trials of Fire.
Yeah.
But delivers it in a completely different manner.
Okay.
So there's no open world to run around. You have like nodes you move to. Classic. You move to a node, it has the classic kind of, your camp has been found by monks. Do you feed them? Do you threaten them? Do you whatever?
Yeah.
Depending on what you do, there's repercussions. That you need food to keep your camp surviving, all that jazz, and that's nothing new. The combat mechanic, or the way the game plays, is quite interesting. So you have each a player has 4 rows of 3. So you have 4, 4, and 4. And basically, only the front person of each row can attack. Now, you can attack or move one adjacent circle per character per turn. So let's say, for example, I got 2 on the front row and 1 just behind them. The one just behind them on the next row could still attack because there's no one in front of them. But if they took loads of damage and I want to heal them because they're a big player, or they have a big passive on the board but they're not that strong, I can move them behind another unit. So no one can attack them now. And then now that person is going to take the brunt of it. So there's lots of strategy in terms of, okay, I'm putting this down just for a passive, so I'm going to put them back left-hand corner. But then these guys here, but I need to protect this guy, otherwise this person's going to get clear of the board and all that jazz. The thing I liked about it the most was the deck building mechanic side of it was just, like I said to you earlier, like a CCG. It literally was the way it worked. It feels very familiar, but doesn't feel repetitive, if that comes across. Like,
it's something new, but you kind of get how the rules and systems
as soon as I went
work.
to a deck building system, I was like, this is Hearthstone. Literally, I've done it. But I didn't go, this is Hearthstone. Like, I like Hearthstone. I like CCGs. And it felt very much like that. And the decks feel, whereas I would say Trials of Fire feels more adventure with decks to do damage. This feels very much more like a CCG with a story.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Which I liked. I liked it a lot. The story in it seems cool. Post-apocalyptic. You're playing as this traveler person. You have 2 decks actually, which is worth pointing out. You have a leader deck and then a followers deck.
Okay.
So your leader deck can do like leader abilities, so you can like damage all enemies or buff all allies or get an extra piece of mana this turn and things like that. And yeah, it seems like there's a lot of strategy going on with it. I have some gameplay playing up on the screen now so you guys can see it. But no profit. This is fun. In terms of deck builders go, I had a lot of fun with it. Void Bastards.
Oh yeah.
Void Bastards. The review for this is due up tomorrow at 5 PM as of recording this.
So Tuesday at 5.
Tuesday at 5. I've got a lot of work to get done to get review finished. I'm like 6, maybe 7 hours into the game now. Yeah. Now, I can talk about the game. I just can't give any final impressions on it. Full disclosure, I'm going to say this in a review. I've never played System Shock, so all the comparisons to System Shock, I have no idea what they're about.
Okay.
I have played Bioshock, which are the other comparisons, and I have played Borderlands, which are the other comparisons. So, System Shock wise, you might be looking at this now going, oh, this looks like System Shock. The reason I'm not mentioning it is I've never played System Shock. I don't know exactly where they get the Bioshock stuff from. I suppose you could say like some of the designs are similar to it. To me, it doesn't feel like anything like Bioshock.
Okay.
It does, however, feel and play very much like Borderlands.
Okay.
The gunplay feels very, like Borderlands arcadey gunplay that feels satisfying.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Okay.
The game is brutal. Like, that's why I've got so much work to do, because it's so brutal. It is a case of, so, for those who don't know, Void Bastards is a strategic shooter. I'll be honest, jumping into that, I was like, what the fuck's a strategic shooter? Yeah, you basically have to approach every situation with caution. There's me going, enemy, run at them. I'm dead. Great. It's a rogue light in terms of basic concept of story. There's a prison. There's this weird backpack thing, I don't know much about it yet, that can attach to prisoners, and then it like acts as a host, basically. The prisoner acts as a host.
Okay.
Now, when you die, you move on to the next prisoner. What's really cool is when you jump onto a new prisoner, they have random perks or nerfs.
Okay.
So, for example, I was playing this guy who was slightly stronger. He could take more damage, but he was a smoker, which meant he randomly coughed. So if you were trying to do a stealth part, all of a sudden he would cough, and then robotic or other enemies would know you were nearby.
Nice.
There was another woman who was weaker, but she had dexterity, so she had the ability to, when you were shot at, if you were sprinting, the first 2 shots would miss you, even if they hit you.
Okay.
So they have all these kind of weird perks and buffs that go on that are passives. You jump in, you start at this kind of ship, this prison place, and you got to get to the other side of the nebula system. You can go any place you want along the way. You can skip through if you want, but your food will run out. You need to stop at places to get food. When you get off these ships, you've got this sarcastic kind of, very much like Gladys, sarcastic AI that's over the top going, all this here is a whatever creature. Personally, I would say, stay well away from this guy, and then you'll go open the door, and it's like, yeah, you're going to regret this decision, and then you'll die, and it's like, told you. Like, it's very sarcastic, but you need to kind of get into ships to then scout them out, to get loot, to get a better ship, to then go on further.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the game so far. I've not played enough of it to have a full opinion on it anyway. That's why I've got to play a lot more today and tomorrow. The gunplay feels nice. Visuals are super cool.
Yeah. The
cutscenes play out as genuine comic books. They move across from tile to tile. It has a pretty kick-ass soundtrack, actually. Someone asked me, what's the soundtrack like? I think your brother, actually, on Discord. I was like, I don't actually know, because I only played an hour at a time. Played a bit more. The soundtrack's pretty damn cool. Yeah, it feels good. To the point where, only 6 hours in, I want to keep playing more of it. And we both probably reviewed games when we were like, I just got to get this finished.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the case. This is like, I want to get in. I want to play more Void Bastards. That's about all I can say on it at the moment. But a review will go live Friday, even if I don't sleep tonight. The review Tuesday. The review will go live Tuesday.
The review will go live Friday.
Tuesday, 5 PM review. Go straight up. And I quickly jumped into Gato Roboto, the new Devolver Digital.
Oh yeah,
black and white.
Yeah. Black and white. shooter.
Yeah, I mean, I've not played tons of old school, like old school, like Metroid or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it has this kind of, so it's a Metroidvania or Meowtroidvania, as they're calling it, because you play as a cat. Cat with a robot suit, you get the ability to get a rocket to blow up walls to get to secret areas. So there's like, the cat can jump out the suit because it can go through tighter spaces, and then you get more mechanics, and you open up. It's very much a tile-based system as you go through. One little nice touch you get is some of the suit upgrades you get are to do with the screen display. Yeah. So you get ones that make it like, it was called Dackstar? I think it's called Dackstar. I don't know if that was a reference to anything, but it basically made it a Game Boy. Basically made it like a Game Boy one. There's one that made it look like an Etch-a-Sketch. It was really weird.
Cool.
I was like, okay. I've only played half an hour of the game. The review will go up on Thursday when the game's finished. I got a feeling this game's going to be, judging by the price, it's releasing at £8, judging by what I've played of it so far, I feel like 2 or 3 hours and this game is done.
Yeah.
It seems perfectly okay at the moment. People are going mad for it, and I'm like, I don't know why. It's just a Metroidvania.
It's a Devolver Digital crazy cat game
if it wasn't
lots of violence.
If it wasn't for the visuals, then I think it would be
just an alright.
Yeah. I think it would get drowned out in Metroidvanias. I think Devolver Digital only got on top of it a little bit like Minute, because the visuals of it very classic looking. And the last game, Dauntless.
Oh, we've both been
playing Dauntless. Dauntless is free to play at the moment. Hopefully you've got in and played the game. You're not still queuing now. Coffee.
And I'm sure you'll have our patrons and that lot will have joined Tom's guild that he started. Something about madness. I don't know. I signed up to it.
Cult of Madness.
Yeah, that's it. Cult of Madness.
Because I tried for ages to make a guild. Yeah, and then I tweeted them saying guilds are like, there's a bug at the moment. Some people just can't make guilds. Yeah. And I was getting pissed off it. Luckily, your brother's been able to make a guild. So patrons...
We're up to 8 members so far.
So patrons, he just literally texted me before we got onto this saying that I'm now an officer, so I can invite people. Cool. So patrons will be invited to it. If you guys want to join our Dauntless Guild, you get quite a lot of loot for people doing stuff in it. Then patreon.com/incredible $1 just for a Dauntless Guild, eh? Plus, you get some other good stuff. You don't care about that. You just want a Dauntless Guild. Yeah. I won't touch on Dauntless for ages, but it's effectively, if you don't know, you must have been living on a rock probably if you don't know what it is, because it's been everywhere.
It's a kind of boss rush, monster hunter, looter.
Yeah, very much arcade
style. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Monster Hunter. The way I struggled with Monster Hunter was, it was not fun playing as a solo player because it is seriously hard. Every time I tried to play with people, they were Japanese and I had no idea what they were saying. Yeah. And I kind of got drained out by that. I mean, 35 hours in, I was just like, I'm only halfway through the game because that's how hard it was getting. I was like, it's just not a solo player game. Yeah. What Dauntless seems to do is it very much strips away a lot of the complexity, a lot of the barriers that stop people jumping into something like Monster Hunter. And it just goes, just jump in, spend 5 minutes killing a monster, get out, get the rewards, do it 3 or 4 more times, you get a cool set of armour. Go do the next one.
There's none of this, you've got to lay traps, you've got to find the right flowers, all of that. They've scrapped that. It's my first Monster Hunter. It is very much a case of it's all bright, it's shiny, the monsters are very cleverly done. So you do have to think about the fights. But as I was saying to you earlier today, my issue with it is that it is just a loot grinder.
They need something else. I mean, knowing that they've got Epic's money behind them is cool, because it's Phoenix Labs are the devs. What they need seasonal events. So,
like you were saying, they need a story. They need something that really pulls us in.
Something that pulls us in, because the opening cutscenes seem cool. The whole lore of the world seems cool. There's like your shattered isles. Each isle has a different monster on it. You go down, you kill the monster, you come back, and
you're building your armor sets to fight against the types of
the hub world you're in, Ramsgate, I think it's called.
Ramsgate, which I find really funny because I've been to Ramsgate.
Oh, have you?
Well, yeah, it's in the UK.
Yeah, it is, isn't
it? So you're just like, hang on, I'm in Ramsgate. But I've been there. It doesn't look like this. Where's the drunk in the corner having a slash? That's what we need.
The Ramsgate hub world is huge but barren. It has like so many empty spaces that clearly they are ambitious to go, we want this. I'd imagine one of them will probably be like a guild hall. You go in there and you've got all your guild trophies in there and things like that. But they have very much said that at the moment their main focus is on getting people in the game, because as Moloch will know, normally when you jump in, so if we was jumping now, as of
I jumped
11:55
I jumped
this
in
morning.
first thing this morning, and I got straight on,
in.
no wait at all. I tried
the UK,
last night, and it took me an hour to get in.
Yeah, in the UK, we jump in any time up to about 5, 6 in the evening. You're straight in.
Yeah.
Last night I jumped in with my nephew. We waited 20 minutes. Literally put it on, went downstairs, got some food, come back up. We were just getting in then.
Yeah.
Here's a thing I want you to know what your thoughts are on.
Go on.
So the developers' thoughts behind this are, what they said is they could let everyone in, but then they're going to have a very laggy and a poor experience for people. Would you rather queue to get in a game that runs nicely, that plays nicely when you're in it, or would you rather just get in the game but have a choppy experience?
I'd rather wait.
I think
because if I'd gone in and had a laggy experience at those times, I'd have thought, oh, this game's shit, I'm not playing it.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't be willing to wait. Whereas when I have been in, there've been a couple of times I've experienced lag in there, but not that bad.
Yeah.
And usually it's been able to sort itself out during it. Mm-hmm. But because I've been able to go in, have a decent experience, a good, fun arcade experience where you're really battling, you're really thinking about how each person's going to move around, I don't mind the wait. Because I know that that's something they can cure at a later date. Once they've seen there is a viable money option to this, I'm telling you, Epic will turn around and go, right, here's a crap load of money, get yourself more space, go for it, invite more people in, we'll give you the structure of that, because we can see finance in this.
If they've been clever, what I hope they've done is they've actually got content ready to go, and they've almost stockpiled it. Because I hope it's not a case of, we wait and see how well it does to then make content, because then they go, we're announcing this content to release in 3 or 4 months' time, because people will just go, I'm off.
Yeah.
Well, I hope there's something there that then go, in May at the moment, so say end of June, here's the first event. It's this limited one big monster. You can get a special set of armor. It only lasts a week. And even if they use that for now just to get people back, it's the kind of thing that would make me go, I'll go back, I'll jump on it for now.
Yeah. I don't know. It is. I think it's all going to be down to what they do with guilds. So once guilds are up, because they want communities. Because as soon as you make a community in the game, this is why Destiny did so well, because they were able to make communities. To be honest, Destiny didn't
made
really
communities
do that.
outside of LFG communities. Which.
But that's why they're still running, because people have made groups. Now, what they need to do is they need to build those groups within the games, and so it's all about the guilds. And it'd be great if they have events. I don't think they're going to have a whole load of, here's a brand new monster at the end of the month. I think it really will be a case of, here's a new set of armor. Because then that will link into the paid side of it. You're going to want the money to make
I would say so far, like, the monetization seems... So, the only thing, you can buy lots of cosmetics for money. Or you can buy cells. Now, your brother made a good point on the cells. The cells you can buy, so cells have been put into weapons to make it, your weapons get more different passives. But it's not a PvP game, so... It really doesn't matter that you can buy those cells. Like, if you want to go buy them, by all means, I mean, you get them at a pretty decent rate anyway.
Yes.
So
but also, you're going to help everyone else you're fighting with. So it's like, cheers, mate. You spent an absolute fortune, and we've just caned that monster. Thank you very much.
So in terms of monetization, because it's not a PvP, you can't say it's paid to win. Yeah, it's paid to get better technically if you want to drop money on the cells. But there's also a way of taking a cell, putting it into this like oven thing, what's called the middleman. Then I had to wait 3 days, but when I went back, I got a legendary, like, completely mind-blowing cell that does a massive passive.
I didn't know about that.
You had to wait 3 days to get it.
I might go stop pumping him full of all these bloody
cells
I've got.
You put one in. One cell in, you have to wait. But you put, like, a blue in,
How many times can you do that?
Pink back. As many times as you want, but you have to wait until it's finished.
That's fine, I've got tons of them.
Unless you use real money.
I keep getting the cells to open these
things. And you can sell the cells to him to get the weird vortex currency to then buy cells with. Ooh. So you can actually buy cells.
I need to go see this guy, because I didn't read what he said. I was just like, let me kill monsters. Stop telling me shit.
I was the same. It was only because I watched a video on it and I was like,
right, okay.
Do that. But Dauntless, it's free to play. So jump in. You don't like it, delete it. It's not going to cost you any money. No. If you do like it, I will say there is a season pass available, very much like Fortnite. The first season, it costs $3.99. You get enough ore. Was it called?
It's ore.
Ore to pay for the season pass, and you get other little bits and bobs.
In their starter one, there are 2 ways to buy enough for the season pass. You can pay $7.99 for the right amount of ore,
and that's
or you can buy the new welcome pack, which is £4, and you get enough ore to buy the season pass plus some skins and
they don't tell you that at the beginning. They say $7.99 for the
Yeah.
No. You can only buy the Welcome Pass once.
Yeah.
Dauntless, I'm enjoying it. I can see what you're saying. I'm probably going to play it for another week, 2 weeks, and then probably drop off of it because I'll be like, I need something else to do now.
Yeah, because it's just a grinder. There is a point you're like, yeah, I'm done this.
Cool. Danny boy, what have you been playing, mate?
What have I've been playing? One of the ones I've been playing this week is I've been playing Slay the Spire, which is a deck builder.
Yeah, and it's a video available now and on the Dice Bear.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And the video on Indie Credible will be changed at some point because for some reason, and I don't get why, it's because I'm still learning Da Vinci. It's cut me completing the tower. It was my first ever completion of a Spire. Sorry.
Ah, okay.
You are playing as some sort of beast guy with a mask on. You slowly build your deck. Your starting hand is basically 5 attacks, 5 defends.
Yeah.
And you're facing monsters, and you're making your way up this spire. Once you get to the top of the spire, you face a boss. You kill the boss, you move to the next spire. There are 3 spires. Once you complete all 3 spires, you get to smack the heart of the spire.
Okay.
And then you start again. But the decks are so nicely made that you've got different tactics you make. So the first guy you get, you don't have any other heroes open. And you're basically building he's a very middle of the road. He's got nothing really special about him.
Just a mid-range
deck.
But
a mid-range deck that you're building for it. Then you open what I call an assassin, who is all about playing because you get 3 points to spend on your turn. Okay. And the cards cost different amounts, and you spend.
So it's not like mana that accumulates over time. It is flat-based 3 points.
Flat-based 3 points, but you do have cards that can boost that or involve.
Just point carry. So say I only spend 2 1 turn. There's 1 point carry over.
1 point will carry over. And you build the deck. So your second guy is all about playing as many cards as possible and doing serious amounts of damage. And it's learning to manipulate the cards.
Aggro, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's learning to manipulate the cards so they give you extra cards, extra attacks, extra damage that you can play for free, or you've got cards that will
does the enemy play cards?
The enemy will just attack or will just weaken you.
The question was going to be, is there a mill deck? Can I
just mill them? No.
And then just go, oh, you're going to die
But
now,
it does show what the enemy's about to do.
Okay.
So on your turn, you can go, okay, next turn they're not going to attack me. They're going to play a defense or they're going to weaken me somehow. Okay. So this turn I can barrage them with attack, knowing I don't have to defend. Or I can start getting prepped for next turn so I can do something brutal to them. Or you can see they're going to attack, so you're like, right, this turn I can't be hitting the damage in the same way. Yeah. I need to be defending. So you put down some defense to make sure they hit.
And there's quite a lot of versatility to the decks, customization to the decks.
There is a lot, but what makes it even better, and I found this out from. So there are 3 heroes that I've opened. I don't know if there's a secret one. Once you've opened the 3rd hero, you open a create your own game, where you can go in. You can build your first 10 cards. Of the deck.
You just make your cards what you want.
And you can mix them between characters, so you don't have to be like. So each character.
Obviously, there's limitations on what cards you make. You can't like do 100 damage. Like
Oh no! It comes from their sets that you're slowly opening. The more times you complete it, you'll get more cards.
Yeah.
But you can then go right. I reckon the mage who can basically get orbs that surround him at the end of each turn. They'll give him more health, more damage, more bits like that. You can mix him with the aggro deck. Which basically means, so with the mage, you'll get orbs around him, and each orb will give him a certain amount of shield at the end of his turn. So once you've got these orbs above him, which you can generate more using different cards, it's very clever. You can then go, right, I've got enough defense there, never to have to worry about defending again. So every turn, I can go pure aggro deck. Okay. And you end up with absolutely... My first completion of all 3 spires, how come, was basically by building this deck. And it was brutal. Nothing could get through to me because I'd set it up so I had all these frozen bits. And then I was doing so much damage.
And other people would complete the game or finish the 3 spires with a completely different deck.
With a different deck and different builds. And I really like it. In fact, it's like you were saying earlier about a game you play and you played it and you're like, okay, I'll move on now. I've actually been back to that game more than I've been back to so many other games because it's quick as well.
Oh, nice.
It's a very fast-paced...
So how long does it take to get through the 3 spires and to the heart of
three spires, I think it took about an hour and a half.
Okay, so it's definitely one job, sit down.
It's a one job, sit down, you can blast your way through it, but the bosses can be absolutely brutal.
Are they the RPG, like classic kind of monks come to your camp. Is that involved in it? There is, yeah.
So like your nodes one from Nowhere Prophets, that's how you move up the tower, and you can choose to fight a monster, go to a question mark, which is going to be the, you found an encampment.
Yeah.
You've got elite monsters, which are going to give you better gear or better relics.
Oh, nice.
Relics stick with you. That sometimes they're cursed, so they're going to do damage to you.
Yep.
There's a nice balance to it. And then you'll find there's a merchant, which will allow you to buy new cards.
Yep.
So you're busy earning gold as you go through. I really like it.
Oh, nice.
When I first played it, though, the graphics on my very first run didn't do a thing for me. I was like, I like the cards, but visually, this isn't very good. And it wasn't until the second run, and I started seeing when you start the second run, a giant freaking whale is greeting you at the start. I don't know why, but it just works. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I get the patterns here, and you start seeing new monsters and bits like that.
Okay.
There's a real disparity between the characters I like. So the card game, how it works, how you control the spires, I really, really enjoy. Nice. And yet again, I think I actually went to look for it on the Switch because I was like, I'm going to buy that so I can play it on the Switch because I'm going to be spending a week and a bit in Herm in a small island. It's not there yet.
5th of June.
5th of June. Brilliant.
News came out yesterday.
Oh.
News came out yesterday. It's not actually on news because news only came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Humble Presents, whatever they call themselves, are bringing it across to the Switch on the 5th of June. That's hopefully wrong.
Because I'm going to be on a small island without any internet access for a week and a bit, and I'm like, I am going to play the shit out of that game. Yeah. And I'm going to see if I can get all the cards and just have a real full view of it.
Any multiplayer?
No, there's no multiplayer, and unlike Trials of Fire, I don't think it needs it.
Okay.
Because it's not that type of game. It is about you defeating monsters.
Yeah.
And the way the cards work, you need to know what the opponent's about to do to really play your cards and get it going.
Yeah.
Whereas Trials of Fire could really have done with a multiplayer.
Yeah.
And it would have worked. This one, no, this is a solo game. It's about defeating the tower. What's really cool, though, and the bit has me really interested, is when you get to the final spire, you've defeated the boss at the top and you get to the heart of the spires, you do a certain amount of damage based on how much damage you've done on the way to it, to the heart.
Oh, yeah.
But it's cumulative throughout everyone who's played it. So everyone who's online playing Slay the Spire is damaging this heart. But I don't. And it says a certain. I can't remember how much damage we're supposed to do to it, but it's a shit ton.
So
and I want to know what happens.
Can no one else play it then?
Huh? I don't know. I don't know what happens when we destroy the heart. I'm like, okay, what happens? So we need to find out. So I'm on there, like, and the problem is I've only managed to get to the heart twice.
Okay.
Because it is a difficult game. You've got to be building your cards right. Okay. And some runs.
Well, when I jump on the Switch, I will try to do my contribution to the heart.
Yeah. Get in there, deal it some damage.
Yeah.
But no, Slay the Spire. Really been enjoying that one.
Nice.
That's been a great game.
Nice.
What else have I been playing?
Play some Dauntless.
I'm playing Dauntless. Oh, Spellbreaker.
Oh, you played Spellbreaker, didn't you?
I've been playing the alpha of the Spellbreaker. It's very important that I point that out. I've been playing it on PC through the Epic Store. I've been playing with my little brother.
It's exclusive, isn't it, to Epic?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's one of their exclusives. It's another battle royale. That is its biggest flaw. It's another battle royale. Visually, it's like playing Ni no Kuni 2. It's beautiful. I love the visual art style of it. You are mages, and you're sorcerers, whatever they want to call them, and you go around, instead of picking up guns, you're picking up gauntlets, and the gauntlets give you different magic abilities, from lightning to biological warfare to fire, bits like that. And depending how you mix these two things together, they do different things. So I could set fire to something, but then I could use my wind attack to then raise that fire into a flaming tornado, or I could put ice across the floor, which will allow me to stun you, and then throw down the bioshock, or lightning down the ice, so the whole strip becomes electrocuted and then electrocutes them as well.
That's cool.
So there's really nice mechanics on how the magic works. The world itself, I really like. It's this run down yet somehow beautiful, green and lush.
It looks pretty. When I was watching your stream last night, it did look
visually
pretty.
I really, really like it. Though I will say the characters, you've got a character select, and so many of them are just duplicates of the same character. but instead of having a red breastplate, they've got a yellow breastplate, and you're just like, that's not a different character. That's the same one. Or they've got the guy and he's got long hair or short hair, and you're like, oh, come on, don't bother with that.
So,
but the problem is, I like it. I think it's a really good game. I think it has a really good competitive edge. Tom, my little brother, found this great little bit last night where he was able to go invisible through the toxic smoke and showed what would be a great moment in competitive gaming. It really was a thrilling moment at the end. You're like, wow, this is brilliant. But it's a battle royale.
That's the issue.
And I'm just like, I don't.
We have
another one.
We have another big battle royale game coming this year from Housemarque. Remember that? Housemarque are the guys who obviously done all the arcade shooter guys.
Yeah.
Storm Divers, I believe, is what it was called.
Oh, yes.
And they announced it at E3 last year, and people were like, "Why are you doing this?" And I really hope that isn't the end.
Well, there's a bit at the start of Spellbreakers where you choose a portal. So instead of jumping off a bus or flying in from a plane, you choose a portal, and then you drop out the portal. And then you fall down, and you're kind of like, what's the point of this?
I mean, let's remember, so Epic are publishers, yeah?
It's on the Epic Store, so they opened out. So it's going to get the support.
Well, but we say that. If Epic are publishers,
yeah,
this game doesn't do well, they have no issue with just canning it. Just look at, what was the MMO we used to play? The MOBA we used to play. Paragon.
Paragon, yeah.
Didn't work, canned.
Canned it, yeah.
Don't care if you put money into the game, canned. Or you could actually get refunds on some stuff.
You would get refunds for bits.
Yeah, they have no issue with canning the game.
No.
So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully this game does do well. But it's going into the most saturated market at the moment.
I think this game would have been better as an arena battle game.
Your brother said it last night on Arena. As soon as he said that, I was like, he's completely right.
Yeah, because you can mix your powers with each other. So it was about me and my little brother working out what powers would work together and how we could help each other, and then also how you'd help yourself in there. I was rubbish, but it was very much, it became more tactical. And at that point, I was like, it'd be great to have a bigger map that wasn't about, it's closing down, and then a fighting as
Matches
teams.
looked very quick.
They were quick. But that might be because we were dying quite quick.
But I saw the game where you died like 90 seconds.
90 seconds in, yeah.
But like, here's evidence then. If you want evidence that battle royales are dying off, I can't remember what it's called now. Is it Firestorm? The Battlefield one?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They've cancelled duo mode because no one was playing it.
No one's playing duo.
Like, Call of Duty rumoured to also be cancelling 4-player mode soon because no one's playing 4-player mode on Call of Duty. So there's evidence. Like, that's two huge AAA games
that aren't managing to
get enough players in those servers. So they're cancelling those. Well, those modes.
I will say I didn't have this problem, but Tom was talking about it with Spellbreak. Was that he was having to wait ages to get into solo modes.
Yeah.
And we were playing in teams, but with no fill, and we were getting straight into
also
games. This is in an alpha.
It's a paid alpha at the moment, isn't it? You have to buy into it with founders packs.
Yeah, you're buying with the founders pack, or you can apply for a code at the moment.
Okay.
To get that, but you've got to be put on a waiting list, and then you've got to be lucky to get into it.
Yeah. But they have said, your brother telling me, you pay 15 quid for a founders pack. When the game launches and goes to free to play, you will get the equivalent of £15 worth of in-game currency back, and you're also getting some perks for going in now with the founders pack. So you get more than your money's worth back in the game if the game has an audience and a player base. And
that's where I don't know. It's all going to depend on how Epic support it.
If I've ever wanted a battle royale game to actually do well and succeed, it was this one. After watching you guys, because I've had a key for about a month. I've just not gone on it because I was like, I'm not playing on my own. I'm not playing.
You need a group. You do need a group. It's like, this is definitely a cooperative combat game.
Well, the fact that you mix spells together, so it still works. So you could throw fire down, I could throw wind.
Yeah,
and that would work.
You could set a tornado out, and then we could fill it with lightning, and it would be a lightning tornado. And it is about how you work together to do these things. And I really like that.
There's solos, duos, and quads.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, or maybe they were threes. We couldn't figure it out last night.
Okay.
It might be 3s or 4s.
Okay.
But duos isn't running at the moment because they don't have enough people. I don't think so. It's just solos and teams.
Oh, so you were in teams last night?
We were in teams, but with no Phil. Because me and Tom were hardcore.
Yeah, cool. Nice. Anything else? Is that?
I'm sure I played some other stuff, but I can't remember it right now. Cool. It's been a busy week and I got very ill.
Yes, hence the voice.
Hence the voice, yeah.
Should we jump into the news?
Let's do news.
I'll do it for Tom because Tom's not here. We're not even going to tell you why he's not here. Queep.
Yeah.
Okay, so news this week. It's not on there. I will reiterate. Slay the Spire game Dan's been really enjoying. 5th of June. It is coming to Nintendo Switch. It seems like a great place to play it, as with any deck builder, I think.
It's the travel.
Yeah.
You don't really need a lot of the visuals for it.
No, there's a few games that I like on the Switch, especially like if Gwent was on the Switch, that'd be amazing, and it linked.
It'd have to link.
I could sit in bed and play it. Anyway, the Blackout Club. The Blackout Club is a game that was announced. It's actually been available in early access for a little while on PC, but I just announced that it's coming out this year. It's got a summer release window. I'm guessing that would probably mean any time between beginning of June and end of August.
Yeah,
that's what I'm assuming there. And it's coming to PC. It's just coming out of early access, and it's coming to PS4, and it's coming to Xbox One on the day of launch. Same place. The game looks interesting.
Yeah, it's got some really nice mechanics to it. You work cooperatively.
It's not 4v1 because you're not against one thing, but it's like up to 4-player co-op game against the AI.
Yeah.
But it's not one AI, you're against a host of AIs.
And you're trying to figure out what's going on to your family, to the town. They describe it as, on one of the videos I was watching, as the Stranger Things.
Yeah. My parents are aliens meets Stranger Things.
Yeah.
So you get into this world and there's these weird aliens, or your parents end up turning out being aliens. Then it looks like these aliens are invading the city, the town actually you're in. It's a small town.
But you can only see these aliens when you've got your eyes closed, and you can only see some of the mysterious things that are going on in the town when you close your eyes, which means you're then not seeing.
Isn't it?
That's
you're
it.
going to close it and open and go, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, because it looks like the townspeople are being taken over by aliens, and then they're hunting you down. But to find out what you need to do, you've got to close your eyes. So you're going to close your eyes, be able to see the alien bits around, but not know that one of these town people are busy creeping up. And then you'll open your eyes and go, shit! And then that's it.
It looks interesting. I don't know if you can play it as 2 players. All I know is it's a cooperative
I think
story game as well.
They have 3 players in the one I saw.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it'll be up to 4, and you can probably do co-op.
So it's a co-op, and it's a story game. You're trying to uncover the story of the game, which sounds interesting. Like I like the fact there isn't an objective to try and kill something or try and overcome and jump into matches. It is a case of what I would like to see is the story not be too long, because it's going to be hard getting people together to play a story.
Yeah.
4, maybe 5 hours, jump in, let's do it, it's got off, let's do it one more time and finish the game. I think that'd be quite nice.
Yeah, I reckon if you could have multiple different levels, and each level was about an hour, and you could jump together as your mates for an hour.
Yeah.
Like an hour if you rushed it. If you knew what you were doing, where to go, it took an hour.
Yeah.
Whereas before that, you've really got to research and build it, so it could take up to 4 or 5 hours. And then you do different chapters, and then that would be cool. Especially with the whole closing your eyes mechanic.
Yeah, that does look cool.
I really like that bit.
It's very Stephen King-esque kind of.
Yeah.
Spielbergy.
As I said, it's that whole love letter to the 80s, early 90s horror movie. And creepy, twisted mechanic.
Yeah, PC, PS4, Xbox One this summer. That's cool. Next up, a game that you guys won't. You're going to be. I recommend going and check the trailer if you're interested in this next.
Yeah, the trailer up here is not going to help you.
It's not going to help you at all. Did you watch the trailer for it?
I did watch the trailer.
So the game is called The Vale, and it's being developed by a company called Falling Squirrel. Now, what's interesting about this is a game designed for visually impaired gamers. So it's a medieval adventure game where you play as someone who's second to the throne, but that person is blind. You'll be fighting battles, you'll be looting enemies, and you'll be playing through a branching story. But I want to know how this works, because it seems like a lot of the narrative is given to you like an audiobook.
Yes.
But then, how do you fight?
Well, that was my issue with the trailer. From what they did, audio-wise, sounded really good. It sounded like a really good radio play. You could hear the thwomps of the arrow as they nailed into the side of the part that you were on. You could hear the crackling of the fire. You could hear people screaming. The slashes of swords. It was really good auditory work. I would like to hear that again with headphones on.
Well, it says in the trailer straight away. It says recommended for headphones.
Because I'd like to know how the surround works on it and bits like that. But it shows nothing of how you actually interact with the game.
Yeah.
So, am I moving around? Am I going to be able to hear the footsteps of people crackling and go, okay, I can hear something in that direction. I'm going to try and move and walk that direction. And then I need to know how to play this game.
So I don't mean this to come across as a dickhead comment.
Go for it.
How well, if someone is blind or visually impaired, how well is their understanding of a keyboard layout?
Oh, pretty good.
Okay. So here's my thought about it. Because I genuinely was like, I want to work out how this works in my head. My thought is it will be something like WASD or something, but W is to loot after a fight, or like A is to go left, fingers to go right, and it'll be like swings a sword down to your left hand side, so you then press it to go right. That's my thought of it. Then it will be you've come to a branch in the path. Do you go left? Do you go right? And you tap on the keyboard again. That's how I would imagine it.
See, I imagined it was something along the lines of it works in exactly the same way as you'd play, any sort of MMO, sort of World of Warcraft. That your WSD, your movement, and you're moving towards the sound. So actually, if you're visually impaired, your ability to hear the sound is going to be better. Yeah. So you can move towards that.
They do the sound effects in terms of that would be amazing if they get the sound down, so you know to dodge left because you can hear it in your right ear.
But you're also a child, so I don't think you're going to be doing a lot of combat. I think it's going to be very much of a sneaking game.
Hearing footprints and
going, I need to go that way. If they do that, I reckon it might be genius. It might be one of those games that I'll be shit at because
is it bad if
years of heavy metal have destroyed my ears? But
is it bad if I was to review this game but then like play it with a blindfold on? I know that sounds, but because I want to be immersed in it.
There are no visuals. So I mean, if you want,
but then I don't know. I'd feel like to be fully immersed. I feel like I'd want to be like Blind Fury.
Yeah, cut all the like Blind Fury. What, fuck up a crocodile?
Yeah.
I mean, creep up. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm very intrigued by it.
The big bit is I thought the sound was great. I really liked how they'd done the audio on it. I like the idea, but I need to know how it's played. I need to see a Let's Play video where you watch someone play it.
I'm waiting for IGN to give it a poor review because the visuals are bad.
Yes, yeah.
For IGN.
Yeah.
Poor visuals.
Poor visuals. We missed the point of the game completely.
Yeah.
So the Vale is what I'm now going to be looking out for.
I should say it's coming to PC in August. There are plans to bring it to console, but it will have to be how successful it is because it is a niche.
Console, that would be great.
It's a niche, not niche, but obviously.
Oh, it is niche.
It's niche, but not everyone is a visually impaired gamer.
And not everyone's going to want to play that. They're going to look at the black screen and go, "Nah, I don't do that."
Yeah,
because that's how they talk.
That's exactly how they talk. Everyone who buys COD and FIFA every year, and that's what they buy. Multiplayer, looter, shooter. I'm going to say the name wrong. Xera Survival.
Xena Warrior Princess?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah. Xera Warrior Princess, I almost said it. Xera Survival is available in early access now. As I wrote these notes, it wasn't, so I put it's coming, but it's available now in early access. It's an open world online PvPvE shooter. The best way I can, before we get into the meat of it, best way I can describe it is think of the Dark Zone or what you've heard of the Dark Zone in the Division or Division 2. It's very much Skynet in terms of robots have become their own entity. They've taken over the area. They have information. They hunt around now.
Humans are fighting back for survival.
Exactly. So they're self-thinking and all that. Set in 2022. So it's...
Did we learn nothing from the Back to the Future movies? The best thing about the Back to the Future movies is they set it well in the future.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh great, did 2022? That's no time at all.
No.
That's by the time we get there, we go, well, they were wrong.
Yeah. Now, the big selling point is there's many ways to play the game, much like the Dark Zone in Division. So, let's say by PvPvE, what they mean is you are in these servers that I think are up to 30 other players. I may be wrong on that. I'm sure I read 30 other players. And there are these AI robots patrolling around. There are AI robot base camps. And if Dan and I was to jump in, we could go, all right, let's go and take down one of these strongholds, these robot strongholds. We get the loot from it. The loot will allow you to craft better gear, allow you to craft better armor, and all that jazz, which cannot be stolen. It's worth pointing out your weapons. So if your weapon's taken, you still save the blueprint of the weapon.
Yeah.
If your armor's taken, you still take the blueprint of the armor. The reason that's important is because you also then get PvP. So we've just taken down the stronghold. We're happy. We've got the stuff. Two guys come in and go, well, wait a minute. These are easy. We just take down these guys.
Yeah.
They kill us. They can then loot our bodies and take all the materials. Now, materials don't come back. So if we loot all this gear and we don't get it to our safe place, whatever, then it gets nicked, basically. So that's why it's important to know that weapons and armor, although they can take it off you and wear it around, when you get back, you can get it again.
As long as you've got the materials.
Yeah, as long as you've got the materials to... No. Once you've made the blueprint, you've got the armor. So the idea is that they can't... Because you don't want to... Basically, the game doesn't want you to grind your ass off to get this armor to then lose it all. To then go get them. So once you've got the blueprint and the armor, you can get the armor.
Okay. I thought you'd have to use the materials to make it again.
So
if someone nicked it...
From what I read, it wasn't a case of that. Otherwise, from what I could read from the press release and what I've seen from gameplays, they want it to be well balanced between the sanctions of doing PvP and then the benefits of doing PvE. They don't want it to be a PvP game flat out.
Right.
They don't want people just to ignore the robots and run around killing people, which is what would happen, isn't it? If it was. So there are... I don't know what the sanctions are for killing someone else. Obviously, Dark Zone, you go rogue and everyone knows where you are.
Can kill you.
I don't know if it's the same for this, but it looks interesting.
I'd need to see more, to be honest. I've watched Shroud play it.
Yep.
And I was like, okay.
Yep.
There was nothing there that made me go,
visually,
oh wow, I really want to do this.
Visually, it looks as mediocre.
I think visually it's a bit dull.
Yeah.
It hits what I call the PUBG grey.
What was the...
It's all a bit... Yeah.
What was the...
It's that realism look that...
There was a Battle Royale game that was another PvPvE game that is in early access at the moment. I think it's a Focus Home game. Fear the Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
That's just gone, isn't it? No one's talking about it. No one's playing it. And that came out. And I feel like this is going to be exactly the same.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to come out. People play it and they go... Why am I playing an early access Battle Royale, PvP, whatever game, when I've got so many other games to my access that are doing the same thing, but they're finished games?
Yeah. But also have something more to drag me in, have something else to it.
It might end up being
I think it might be an alright game, but am I going to rush out and make sure I've got it? No.
Golem Gates. Golem Gates is a game I've dabbled in. I haven't spoken about it in detail because I've played like 10 minutes of the game. Golem Gates, it got a release date. It's coming to PS4 on the 28th of May. So it's
a couple of days time.
Tomorrow. It is coming to Xbox and Nintendo Switch on the 31st of May. Now, Golem Gates is a sci-fi action strategy card battler. Let me try and... I'll go through my notes and I'll try and explain to you how it works, because reading the press release does nothing compared to actually playing the game. So it plays out in top-down strategy fashion. Imagine RTS. Now, the way it works is you play as this... I can't remember what they're called now. This person who basically can control this... there's an element in the post-apocalyptic world called the Ash. Right. And basically you can control the Ash. You can turn the Ash into units, into buildings, into vehicles. And to do that, you have to play cards. Now, you're basically playing cards to build an army. And then you're playing cards to tell that little mini army what to do. Are the army going to go here?
Okay.
Are you going to are you going to build a vehicle to then go with the army? Are you going to build a base up? How are you going to do things? But obviously, as you play the cards, you're burning through, I can't remember what it's called now. We call it mana for the sake of it.
Okay.
You're playing for your mana, which you only get by defeating or doing objectives. So if you burn out too much in one thing, you're going to struggle to another thing. And like I said, I've only played 10 minutes.
Resource management sort of.
Yeah, it's literally best described as an RTS game, but all commands are played with cards.
Okay.
I haven't played enough to see if there's a deck building element to it.
When you move with the cards, does the card say you can move to this objective, or you like discard a card, it can move anywhere it wants?
Yeah, so what I had was I played a move card, and then I could click somewhere on the map, and they would go move, basically. There's like defend cards, so you can set your army up to defend, so they aren't going to take as much damage, and then you could flank around the side and things like that. So it looked and it felt like there was a lot of strategy to it, but I haven't played enough of it. I'm going to say it again, Switch is probably where I'd recommend this if you're interested in it.
Yeah.
It comes out at the end of this week. Yeah, that's where I'm playing it. We were initially going to review it, but there was a big delay on keys, and it tied in with Void Bastards and Gato Roboto review, so I'm not reviewing it. But I will have a lot more thought on the game next podcast. I'll actually, hopefully, get a few hours into it. If I don't like it, I won't play much more of it, but who knows. Almost at the end of the news, WarTech Fighters, or WTF, is a game that's been on PC for a little while now.
Yeah.
And it's coming out on the 27th of June on consoles. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. I'm looking forward to this.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I like Gundams.
It's
I like
Transformers in space.
It's basically Transformers in space. There are 30 missions. You fly around. You then come into these 1v1 kind of battles, almost like fighting games, with other mechs. You blow the hell out of the other mechs. You go to your next objective. You do that 30 times over 30 missions. You finish the game. I want that. Big question. I don't know about this though.
Go
on. I'm hoping there's a lot of customization for your mech. There must be.
It looked like you could upgrade your mechs and level them and do bits
full
of that.
Customization. I want.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, maybe.
Yeah.
But are you not looking forward to it?
No.
No?
No.
How come?
How come it looks dull as shit? It really does. I was looking at it and like, this is just a really crappy shooter, but with cool mechs.
I will say, it doesn't look the most exhilarating game. No. And I've had this argument, I've said this for so long, and I keep saying it to your brother. There are not enough mech games available. There's not enough good mech games available. Like Zone of Enders is still one of my favourite mech games. Zone of Enders, the original, I didn't finish the second. The original was so good.
Future Cop LAPD.
It's Kojima's game.
That was my favourite one.
That is a great mech game. There's a game coming out on Switch. I played the beta. They've done it at their big Nintendo Direct, and they were like, beta's open now, just apply for a key. So I applied for it, I got in. And that was really good. It's coming in this end of this year. Project something is what it was called. Can't remember. I'm doing no one favours now. But if anyone can remember, Tom, your brother, if you can remember, I don't think he played it, but he was like quite excited by it.
Yeah.
But yeah, WarTech Fighters, if you like mechs, if you like flying around and smashing other mechs up, it could be for you. And we'll finish off with Gato Roboto, the game I spoke about earlier. The Meowtroidvania where you play as a cat. It got a release date and it's coming to Nintendo Switch and PC on the 30th of May. No other consoles are confirmed, even in works at the moment. It's just Switch and PC. I don't think they'll bother. Devolver Digital have a kind of thing where a lot of their stuff goes to Switch first. Like Katana Zero just went to the Switch and PC first.
Yeah, it took a little while to come out in the other ones. Yeah. I don't know.
No, I mean,
it looks alright.
Yeah, it's like I said, the saving grace of the game. Okay, I don't want to shit on the game too bad. I've only played literally about 25 minutes of the game. The saving grace is it's an £8 game.
Yeah.
So like, once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. If this game takes me 2 hours to finish and I had fun just kind of playing through it, for £8, like yeah, definitely. If it was a 16 quid game, you're all of a sudden like,
yeah.
But there will be a full review up at the end of the week if you're interested in that. Are you gonna check it out at all?
Might do. It's one of those ones that I think I'd probably enjoy, but not while it's sunny out.
Yeah. It'll be a good kind of, depending on how quick it is. I honestly can't see it being much longer than 2 hours. Might be like, I don't know how long your flights take to Guernsey.
30 minutes.
But as in, did you take off and land 30 minutes?
Yeah.
You're not going to finish in that time. But it's the kind of one that you could play a bit at the airport, plan the plane, finish it.
Yeah.
Done.
Happy days.
Easy. Which takes us to our main topic.
Okay.
Main topic is about Playdate, people. Playdate. Playdate got announced. So I had the press release in my inbox like 10 days ago. But I'll be honest, I didn't mention it, didn't speak to anyone about it, because I thought it was a joke. When I got the press release, I was like, oh, this is like, well, okay, not a joke. What I thought it was is I get so, honestly, I probably get 2 or 3 press releases a week about an Atari reboot console or like
Sega's new.
Yeah, look
Dreamcast.
at Nintendo's new SNES, and it's not. It's a kind of knockoff.
Yeah.
And I thought it was one of those. I was like, oh, whatever. Yeah, don't care. I saw it was being published by Panic, which are the guys who they're app developers, but they have published Firewatch, and they're publishing Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
And that was made me go like, oh, whatever. No, still not. Then all of a sudden, when the embargo dropped, everyone was like, Playdate. And I was like, oh, this is a real thing. But okay, all right.
It's on the front cover of Edge magazine.
And then, I know. And then I read more into it, and I don't know what to think about it at the moment. I'm still like that. So, context for those who don't know what Playdate is.
Yeah.
Playdate is a handheld console, black and white handheld console, where it has an A and a B button, it has a D-pad, and it has a crank on the side. I won't go into what we think about it yet, we just go through the game for you. It's going to release at £120 in the UK, $150 over in the US. It has, so you don't buy games, there's no way to put cartridges into it, there's no way to, apparently there's not even a way to plug anything into it to get new games. It needs an internet connection to get the games, because when you buy it, you get a season pass, which gives you 12 games. The 12 games aren't on the console at once. You get given a new game every week over the course of 12 weeks, and then Season 2 will happen. You get a Season 2 pass, which you will have to pay for. There's no confirmed price on it. Season 1 pass comes with the console. Season 2 pass, I can't imagine it being more than a tenner. Then you'll get another free game, or not free game, you'll get another game each week like that. That's pretty much what Playdate is. You can, I'll have the trailers and things shown up there.
It does look like a Game Boy with a winch on the edge.
It does.
It does.
So I watched the trailer of when they try to show you what the winch does.
Yeah.
I like the trailer on that thing there, because the gameplay mechanic was to do with time travelling. So you use the crank, whatever they're calling it, to go forward in time or back in time, which I was like, that's quite cool. So you're convinced the crank's going to become a gimmick?
The crank is a gimmick.
Oh,
it already is a gimmick. It's there to... What I thought, when I first saw the crank and I didn't know a lot, I thought, oh, maybe they've done the chargeable battery. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's, like the radios. Yep. And I was like, that's actually really clever. Because that's one of those sort of, well, here's a game you'll be able to take with you everywhere. We can sell it to all the third world countries, lots of people who live in Brighton and vote green and all like, oh, yeah, let's live together. We'll love this, because now they can game without feeling bad about hurting the environment and all of that lot. And then you find out it's Sega Bass Fishing. Except you don't get to be a fishing game. Except you don't get to play Sega Bass Fishing, so because the graphics won't take it.
No,
I struggle so much with this, because what we're looking at is a console to play indie games that can't play a lot of indie games. It can only play the ones from the season pass, and you're going to pay 120 quid for it. In the same time that Nintendo are just about to release their Switch Lite. We're looking towards them dropping the price of the Switch, making a pro gamer Switch, a cheaper Switch, where you can play all of the indie games.
Yeah.
Why would I spend £120?
Because it's a niche market, but it will sell out, because they've already said that stock's going to be limited.
Yeah.
It's a hipster thing. It's I'm cool. I'm going to go spend £5 on my local coffee shop for a coffee that I could get £2 down the road, and I'm going to sit here and play my crank Game Boy because I'm cool, and I'm going to pretend to do artwork with my little fancy 50 quid pen. That's exactly what the market is.
So dickheads.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say, when pre-orders go available, I am going to pre-order one. Just listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the money saved from the business, because I'm going to review it as an indie games thing. I think we should review it.
It's not why you want it. It's because you are one of those hipsters who will pay the extra money for a coffee, and you want to sit there cranking away in front of people.
I want to see how it works. I'm intrigued to see how it works. And what's the saving grace of it is, all the developers working on the games are very curveball, quirky developers. They are not your safe go, like I can't remember their name, but the Katamari Damacy, that developer's working on a game for it.
I do think that...
What's the... Bennett Folly's working on a game for it.
I do think some of the games you're going to get for it are going to be great.
The only way you can play them is by...
But why do I need this machine? Why aren't they making the games and making this an app? Why can't I have this on my phone?
How does it not?
I don't need a crank.
It won't sell them, will it? The crank won't sell.
Well, no one's going to spend 120... They won't sell... Well, yeah, apart from you. Right? They've made a limited amount. No one's going to be spending 120 quid on this. You're not going to get the kids out doing it. So all these people who are making the quirky games, they're not going to get those out to people.
That's what
that's going to be limited to this.
Super simple games.
Yeah. So, and I seriously doubt the season pass will be a tenner. You're going to spend more than that.
Do you think the season pass will be more?
Yeah.
How much do you reckon they can go up to on a season pass?
I reckon 25 quid.
For 12
You're talking
games?
12 games.
So you're talking £2,
and I reckon,
5p a game.
I reckon each game will be really mini. It will be really basic because that's all the
30
things
minutes fun.
Well, I don't know about how long it will take, but I'm talking like seriously. So, it's Pong. We're playing Pong,
but with a crank.
But with a crank.
So it has to be connected to the internet to download the games.
I've just figured out what the crank's for.
Do you think the games will have like high scores to compare against other Playdates? Because it has to be connected.
Yeah, I suppose it's got online capabilities, obviously. Yeah, I could see it as a cheesy arcade
Playdate.
thing.
What do you think to the name?
That does sound like a paedophile out in the streets. That's what you're going to use it. That's what it'll be used for. Pedos will buy them, and they'll go, "Do you want to see my Playdate? Come wind my crank."
It's such a weird name, Playdate. I mean,
I feel really bad actually because I am properly cutting into this now. I just don't see the point of it.
I feel like this. This feels like
a massive gimmick to rip people off for 120 quid. When these developers who are making these games, let's make it the Playdate app. Make it an app that I can get on my phone.
Panic are app developers.
Yes, so let's make it an app.
So this to me genuinely feels like that someone high up at Panic, and I can't remember the company who are actually making it, but they make synthesizer technology. I feel like they were out on the bender one night.
Yeah.
And they got hammered.
And they one of them went, "Do you remember how much I used to love my fucking Game Boy? I used to have it in my pocket all the time, just get out, simple buttons.
How do we make it better?
We put a crank on it. Oh, mate.
So, if they turn around and say that the crank can be used to charge it up, would that change your perspective on it?
I think that would change why they've done it and what it does as a gaming thing.
Such a weird mechanic.
But as a gaming thing,
it's tiny as well. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, it is
this big, guys. Like, yeah, the crank is tiny on it. So I have quite big hands. I'm going to very much be like.
But why? Why is I don't?
Also, side note: how is it going to be comfortable to hold it and crank and press buttons?
It won't be.
Put it on the. You can't. Because you can still the crank.
You can't crank it. You're gonna have to stand it up, stand and crank. That'd be
stand and crank. But that's our thoughts on Playdate, guys. Like
we've just destroyed Playdate.
I mean, I'm genuinely going to pre-order it. The way I see it is, yes, £120. I spent 60 quid on Anthem when it launched. And now I got a game that didn't work.
But then
again, get 12 games
doesn't this just prove that you shouldn't be allowed to spend money?
Probably.
Because you spend it on shit.
You sound like my wife now, so can we stop?
Well, if you treat me better.
But no, I'm genuinely intrigued. Now, I don't care if the games are 30-minute, hour-long. No. They're not going to be story games. I don't care if they are weird little quirky arcade games. If they make good use of the crank and they actually justify, okay, having the crank here actually works quite well, then that's what I'm interested in.
That crank is not worth 120 quid. I am really interested in the games. I think the games are going to be interesting.
Do you don't think I should get one as a company that you can borrow and then play and...
No.
You'd be interested to play it?
I'd be interested to play the game.
We can go down to our
not the
£5 coffee shop and sit there and play it in our lumberjack shirts.
We should review it.
We get ice gem haircuts. We shave the sides and have ice gem haircuts.
Yes, let's do that.
That's it, man.
We'll review it in Nelson's coffee.
Yeah, I need some varifocals.
I need to grow my beard out. I need to have a longer
I need to
beard.
trim it actually
sculpt it.
Yeah.
I mean, I sculpt mine, but I mean, I need to get the length on mine.
Yeah. I know we need
little
these.
beanies.
And we can have a play date.
That's how we'll review it.
Don't just make this shut up. We don't make this shut up. But we are going to have. I don't want to promise it. We're hoping to have a review of the Playdate up.
Genuinely, don't promise.
It will be a review of each mini game. That's what I want to do. Like game 1.
How are you going to record it?
Phone. That will be it.
Shitty old videos of the
over the top of me playing it.
Playing Fortnite. This is me. I'm playing Fortnite.
So just stand there with a phone. I only need that's how I'm gonna do it.
Amazing. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, why not? But guys, I'd love to know, patrons and everybody else, your thoughts on Playdate. Like, let us know in the comments below. Is it a meme? Are you guys genuinely like, this is a fucking joke? Are you excited for it? Are you gonna wait and see what it's like? I think if you wait and see what it's like for reviews, I think it's gonna be gone. I think this is a case of you either pre-order it or you don't pre-order it. I think it's a case of it's gonna be.
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
They're hoping by the rarity people will jump at it.
Yeah.
Like
I think
the SNES Mini and the NES Mini.
I think also there's the whole collector's market of I need every game console going.
Yeah.
I must have this Playdate.
Yeah.
Hey,
and listen, as someone who has a shit ton of consoles and has been out to collect them, I'm not interested in this.
You wait until Sega Bass Fishing comes on it.
Oh, now that would change my mind.
Are you gonna make an app?
love
Well, on your phone you can have a fish one, and that's your real, and it's got like your line tension on the screen.
You can do that
on the Playdate.
But then why do I need the Playdate if the app's on my phone?
It's cool, Dan. It's cool.
It's not cool.
We're hipsters. Right, guys. Thank you so much for. Well, that was quick.
That was brilliant.
But anyway, we are going to wrap it up there. And yeah, thank you so much for stopping by the podcast. Whether you watched it or listened to it, we really appreciate you stopping by. And again, please let us know what you think to the Playdate. Meme, no meme. You're going to jump on it. You're not going to jump on it. You're interested to see what happens with it. But yes. That is it. I'm trying to think then. What's
the last bit?
If you did watch us and you wanted to hear if you listened to us and you want to see any of the games we were talking about, then head over to youtube.com/indiecredible and you can see all the game trailers we spoke about. Timestamp the game you liked. Head over there and you can watch the trailer playing right behind us there. And if you like this show, guys, if you're still here now and you like the show, we are going to be back on mic for another 10 minutes at the end, and we're on mic for 10 minutes at the beginning, because $1 a month over on patreon.com/indiecredible does get you access to a pre and post show content, as well as access to our Discord, as well as indie game keys that we throw away. If you've got more means to throw at us, more dollars to throw at us, then you get the Indie Credible box of love at Christmas. You can get all sorts. Week early access to the Not So Indie show. There's tons. Just go to hit the link if you're watching the video, or patreon.com/indiecredible. And there's tons to choose from if you're interested. But don't worry if not, just watch the video. Just support it. Just give it a little like. Or there's other ways of supporting us, like giving us a review on iTunes. That works. That goes a long way as well. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great time, day, morning, afternoon, whatever it is where you are. And patrons stick around for post show. And you guys stay indie credible.
Bye.